Hi folks, Angel Arts is back, and welcome to another episode of Gay Replay Dragon Age Inquisition. In our last episode, we have just left Adamant, and ended up in the Fade, and we're just going to do some exploring. So if there's some new content here that we didn't get, banter between Cole and Solus, I will include that. Otherwise, I will just stick to, I guess, showing you the cutscenes and other major events that go on during this main storyline. Divine Justinia, I presume. Or is she?
Could that be?
I greet you, Warden. And you, Champion.
Divine Justinia, most holy.
Cassandra.
Ooh, this is interesting, having Cassandra here.
Cassandra, you knew the Divine. Is this really her?
I don't know. It is said the souls of the dead pass through the Fade and sometimes linger, but we know the spirits lie. Be wary, Inquisitor.
I fear the Divine is indeed dead. It is likely we face a spirit, or a demon.
You think my survival impossible, yet here you stand alive in the Fade yourselves. In truth, proving my existence either way would require time we do not have.
Then simply tell us what you are.
She's not gonna do
I am
that.
here to help you.
Yeah, she's not gonna do that.
You do not remember what happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, Inquisitor.
Did you take my memories?
No. You lost them to the demon that serves Corypheus. It is the nightmare you forget upon waking. It feeds off memories of fear and darkness, growing fat upon the terror. The false calling that terrified the Wardens into making such grave mistakes? Its work.
I would gladly avenge the insult this nightmare dealt my brethren.
You will have your chance, brave Warden. This place of darkness is its lair.
Corypheus seems to have a lot of demons at his disposal. How does he command so many?
I know not how he commands his army of demons. His power may come from the Blight itself, but the nightmare serves willingly. For Corypheus has brought much terror to this world. He was one of the Magisters who unleashed the first Blight upon the world, was he not? Every child's cry as the Archdemon circles. Every dwarf's whimper in the deep roads. The nightmare has fed well.
This would be such a... This would so be what Andy would say.
The big demon Eramond was trying to bring through.
Oh, I expected him to actually say
It's
it.
nearby.
Yes.
Well, shit.
No,
When
there
you
we go.
entered the Fade at
Well, there we
Heaven,
go.
the demon took a part of you. Before you do anything else, you must recover it. These are your memories, Inquisitor.
The demons are my memories, apparently. Alright, boys. Sick 'em. Here. Gather around. There we go. Now you guys can go play. There we go. Love that attack. Love the projectiles.
What's going on here?
Why are you doing this? You, of all people! Run while you can! Warn them! We cannot tarry long.
So all of this is just a dream? Part of the Fade?
It is not just a dream. The minds of mankind are made real here. Their hopes, their loves, and their fears. What changes their world also changes this one. And yours are footsteps that move mountains in both. Tread carefully, Inquisitor. This ground is more treacherous than you know.
I'd like to know more about the nightmare.
It is not simply fear. It is the terror you cannot remember, the horror your mind erases to protect you. When old memories no longer make the veteran soldier's hand tremble, it is because the nightmare has taken them. Most people avoid their fears. It is simple for the demon to steal the darkest fragments. They forget, and it feeds. Corypheus has helped it grow monstrous.
It makes people forget the worst parts of their fears. It almost sounds like the nightmare is helping people.
Perhaps it was once. But now, it helps none but Corypheus. By his hand, it creates more fear and grows even stronger. In any case, robbing people of their fears is never a kindness. At best, it is a mistake born of compassion. Without fear and pain and failure, we cannot learn. We cannot grow.
I kind of like
As
that.
You cannot grow until you recover all that was taken from you.
Yeah, I kind of like how that message, how it might on face value seem like a nice thing to take fears away from people, but if you do that without letting them overcome their fears or overcome the things that worries them or makes them anxious, she's right, it doesn't make you grow. So there is something to be said about that.
You must know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
As must you. The answer lies in your memories, lost to the nightmare when you last walked the Fade.
Or you could just tell me.
Will you trust my words? Trust what you have seen.
What can you tell me about this mark on my hand?
Recover your memories to learn how the mark came to be upon your hand. As for what it is the needle that pulls the thread, as well as the key.
I don't understand.
It is the needle that passes through the veil, as little else can. You are the thread, and it is the key that locks or unlocks a door to the Fade. It lets you walk in the Fade physically, and survive. Without it, Corypheus must find another way to the Black City. It is part of you now, and cannot be removed without your death.
That's ominous.
So can you tell me who, what you are?
I told you. I am helping you.
Yes, but are you her, or some kind of Fade remnant of her, or a spirit imitating her?
Our world is never that simple. What if the answer is none of those things? Or all of them? I am what the Maker made me. The question is, are you what the Maker made you, Inquisitor?
I don't see a Maker anywhere, do you?
In fact, I see him all around us. But is he real? Is his will made manifest? Of this, none can be certain.
Odd thing for the Divine to say.
If we have no doubt, our faith has no value.
You still haven't answered my question. What are you?
I am what you see. All other answers rest in you.
Tell me why you're here. Why take part in this?
After heaven, I hid here. I watched quietly, learned what I could, and searched for some way to help. And then you came.
I don't know what that means.
Corypheus and a nightmare do an injustice to the world. You must stop them. Perhaps you were meant to stop them. Perhaps that is why I am here.
Alright.
We should keep moving.
Cryptic woman is cryptic. Here we go. There's the Grey Wardens. The Grey Wardens were helping Corypheus all this whole time. And Chlorel didn't even know that the Grey Wardens...
Why are you doing this? You, of all people.
Yeah, the Grey Wardens.
Someone, help me!
What's going on here?
There we go. Oh, Andy.
So, your mark did not come from Andraste. It came from the orb Corypheus used in his ritual.
Corypheus intended to rip open the veil, use the anchor to enter the Fade, and throw open the doors of the Black City. Not for the old gods, but for himself. When you disrupted his plan, the orb bestowed the anchor upon you instead.
That's it!
Yes.
That tells me nothing. Not about Corypheus or a weakness for the demon, or even a way out of here. All it tells me is that I should break his damned orb next time it starts glowing.
Yet, even that information may one day help you. You cannot escape the lair of the nightmare until you regain all that it took from you. You have recovered some of yourself, but now it knows you are here. You must make haste. I will prepare the way ahead.
Andy's getting really frustrated. I think that, yeah,
Something troubles you, Hawk.
Trying to ignore the Grey Wardens holding the Divine in that vision? Their actions led to her death.
I assumed he had taken their minds, as you have seen him do before. Come, we can argue after we escape this dark place.
Oh, I intend to.
Yeah. Andy's like,
Could that
Grey
truly
Wardens.
have been the most holy?
We have survived in the Fade physically. Perhaps she did as well. Or, if it is a spirit that identifies so strongly with Justinia, that it believes it is her, how can we say it is not?
She seems interested in helping us. That much is clear.
What about the demon? She called it the Nightmare.
It's nothing like me. I make people forget to help them. It eats their fears. I don't know if I could do that, but I don't. I don't want to. That's not me.
He's cold. None of us mistake you for the Nightmare.
it's okay, Cole.
It is a fear demon, as I suspected, likely drawing on terrors related to the Blight. Fear is a very old, very strong feeling. It predates love, pride, compassion, every emotion, save perhaps desire. Be wary. A nightmare will do anything in its power to weaken our resolve.
After what it did to my fellow Wardens, I pray we find some way to strike it down.
Yeah. I completely forgot which direction I'm supposed to be going. I guess I want to go down this way. Alright. Charge! We got some really cool, again, extra dialogue with not only Cold and Solus, but also Cassandra. Because of the, because of the Divine, the presence of the Divine. I forgot about that connection. Let's delve deeper.
We have a visitor. Some foolish little boy comes to steal the fear I kindly lifted from his shoulders.
Quiet,
You should have thanked me and left your fear where it lay.
Here, you want to see something to fear?
Gotten. You think that pain will make you stronger. What fool filled your mind with such drivel? Only one who grows stronger from your fears is me. But you are a guest here, I hope. So by all means, let me return what you have forgotten.
Thanks, I think.
Perhaps I should be afraid, facing the most powerful members of the Inquisition. Are you afraid, Cole? I can help you forget.
Ooh.
Just like you help other people. We're so very much alike, you and I.
Don't listen to him, Cole.
No.
Don't listen to him, Cole.
Your Inquisitor is a fraud, Cassandra. Yet more evidence there is no maker, that all your faith has been for naught.
Die in the void, demon.
That's a good one to tell to Cassandra, because me and Andy and Cassandra, they're not really the best of friends at all in this playthrough. So by telling her to doubt me, that's actually pretty darn good.
Stöth ma herelan. Ma banal inasalin. Marsolas ina martin.
Bonal nadas.
So that conversation between the two, a lot of people have done analysis on that one line because it's in Elven. I believe MD Gamer 183 as well as Lady Insanity. I've watched both their videos about it.
Did you think anything you ever did mattered? You couldn't even save your city. How could you expect to strike down a god? Fenris is going to die just like your family, and everyone you ever cared about.
Not Fenris.
To enjoy killing this thing.
Not Fenris. Alright. But anyway, I've seen 2 videos that tried to analyze the translation. It's not very clear. There are some words that we know the meanings.
Tiny manifestations spawned from the nightmare itself.
And they just happen to look like spiders.
Spiders? I see maggots crawling in filth.
Remember, we walk in the Fade. Demons of fear shape their appearance to unnerve each of us.
Well, that's reassuring.
There's individual words that we're able to translate, but the context, like the way that they are in the sentence, knowing the meaning of the words is not enough, because you have to figure out what the context of them are.
The nightmare is
That's the hard
closer
part.
now. It knows you seek escape. With each moment, it grows stronger.
I believe the translation that there's a number of translations, and again, Lady Insanity and GamerMD83 do a much better job of dissecting it, but I think one of the main translations is he basically is trying to tell Solas that he failed. He actually says Solas' name, but if you remember, Solas is not actually the word Solas means, oh gosh, I forgot what it means. I don't remember off the top of my head, but Solas is an Elven word, and so when he says Solas in that line, when Fear says Solas in that line during the conversation, I don't think he's referring to Solas by name. He's actually using the word Solas, the Elven word Solas, which right now the meaning escapes me at the moment. I'm sure you guys are going to be very good about posting on the comments below what Solas in Elven means. But at any rate, why am I trying to having Cassandra recover my memories? I can't have Cassandra do that.
Keep running!
Go!
I'm wondering if the Divine has anything new to say before I get all the... Oh, here's a note. Before I get the last memory.
There is not much time, Inquisitor.
We should keep moving.
Here we go again.
Reach back in Haven. That's how I escaped.
The demon!
Keep running!
Ah!
It was you. They thought it was Andraste sending me from the Fade, but it was the Divine behind me. And then she died.
Yes.
So this creature is simply a spirit.
For all we know, it's working with Corypheus.
If you believe that, strike me down.
Here's something that I noticed a little bit, and it could very well just be my imagination, but I almost feel like, so this hawk that's in this playthrough is actually a pragmatic hawk. Not a humorous hawk or diplomatic, but pragmatic. And it almost seems like this hawk is slightly less grumpy than my humorous hawk, which seems kind of reverse. So I know that it's been several months since my last playthrough, since my playthrough with Art, and I know a lot of people were telling me, no, it's not a bug. Humorous Hawk really is like that. You know, Diplomatic Hawk does have different dialogue from Humorous Hawk, and the Pragmatic Hawk has different dialogue as well. But so the thing is, I feel like the main problem with Hawk, other than, because I still feel like there should be some better differentiation between the three personalities, not just the words, not just the actual dialogue, not just the actual words themselves that he says. I agree that, sure, maybe after 3 years, Hawks become more bitter overall. Like, every Hawk, no matter who you are, no matter if you're diplomatic or pragmatic or humorous, every Hawk becomes, you know, becomes more bitter. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. But I would have wanted to have seen more, be a little bit more diverse. You know, maybe Pragmatic Hawk being the bitterest of them all, and Diplomatic Hawk ending up the least bitter. I'll bet somewhat bitter, but the least bitter. The Humorous Hawk, I think the main issue is I kind of blame the animators. Because if you look at my Hawk's facial expressions, he always seemed to have a scowl on his face, and he always seemed to have a frown. His eyebrows were always furrowed. Like, he always seemed really upset and really scowling all the time. And regardless of what you're saying, because I was actually listening to Hawk's dialogue with my eyes shut, without looking at his face, and he didn't strike me as being nearly as angry because I wasn't looking at his face. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if the animators had him deliver those lines with the same voice, with the same, you know, way that the voice actor delivered it, but not have him scowl so much or frown so much or look angry so much, that would have been fine. I think that he would have been bitter, but it would not have, you know, gotten to the point where he was outwardly showing it excessively in his facial expression. And I don't know, it seemed like that scene just now, I mean, I have to look at it again, but it seemed like the Hawk, this Hawk, the Pragmatic Hawk, seemed less angry. Yeah, overall, he seemed to be less angry than my Humorous Hawk, which sounds kind of reverse. when the Divine just says, you know, if you believe that I'm actually working for Corypheus, strike me down, Hawk softened, his face softened up a bit. And, okay, it could very well be the humorous Hawk did that as well. But it just goes to show that, you know, it's not just the way that the voice actor delivered his lines. Some people can argue that this voice actor's range as far as voice acting is not as large, and I think that's, you know, that definitely is a factor to it too. But I feel like the animators could have helped it a little bit better if they made his facial expressions less angry looking for humorous Hawk and kept the facial expressions, kept the angry expressions with the pragmatic Hawk. I think I would have been I think I would have had less issue with my Clive not being the real Clive. I think I would have thought that Clive fit more with the personality that I believed he had, if his facial expressions were different. So, anyway,
The nightmare watched Corypheus and grew powerful off the fear. Were you like that for the Divine? A spirit watching her from the Fade, inspired by her faith.
If that is the story you wish to tell, it is not a bad one.
What we do know is that the mortal Divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Warden.
There's the scowl again.
As I said, the Grey Wardens responsible for that crime were under the control of Corypheus. We can discuss this further once we return to Adamant.
Which is filled with wardens who made blood sacrifices to raise a demon army.
How dare you judge us? You killed almost every mage in Kirkwall.
Yes, because too many of them were practicing blood magic, just like your wardens. The wardens have gone mad. Or maybe they always were. Someone has to stop them.
Agreed. The Wardens may once have served a greater good, but they are far too dangerous now.
The blood sings softly, it never stops, and then it's all they hear. We can't let them hurt more
Wow,
people.
everybody's against the Wardens.
The Wardens are a risk. Send them away before they cause even more trouble.
Everybody doesn't like the Wardens here. Everyone. So, Art, always being the diplomatic one, decided not to take any sides. Andy, I think he's picking a side. I don't think he's planning on being super diplomatic here. He's gonna share what he thinks, and what he thinks is